Welcome to High Performance by the Word. We're going to be having a very, very lovely show today. The show is going to be taking a little new twist, and you will soon see why that is so. But we're certainly going to be having a very, very interesting and exciting show because we're going to be discussing something that is very critical to why some organizations fail and why some don't, why some individuals fail and why some don't. We're going to be talking about the subject of execution. We'll go on break right now, and right after the break, we'll go mainstream. Welcome. Today we're talking execution. You know, it's a simple word to many, execution. I want to execute this project. I want to carry out this program. I want to execute. Execution in real business parlance is not just mere words. It's actually the linking of the three core processes in every business to get things done and to get things done on time. And this is where some succeed and some others lose. What are these three core processes of any business? The people process, the strategy process, the operating plan, or the budgeting plan. Effectively linking all three to getting things done and on time. And these processes are managed by the leader of the business and members of his leadership team. The leader must be hands-on. He must see to every detail of this whole process of execution. Without this, he cannot get things done, and not just getting things done, he cannot get things done on time. With me to discuss these very crucial issues on execution are some very, very, very special personalities. They've been seasoned bankers. They've been at the very top in financial institutions here, and they've seen it all. Again, I want to welcome on the set, first of all, Deaconess Bimbo Ozembe. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Pastor. Thank you for having me here.
And again, Deacon Godson Oyagba.
Thank you very much, Pastor. It's always a pleasure to be on this show with you.
Thank you very much. So today, we're talking execution, and it's a very simple word, not too many letters, but very crucial indeed to business success or failure. And we know today that quite a number of organizations fail, and some also succeed. And the major challenge is the inability to execute their businesses effectively. So let's talk execution. Why is it that some are failing and some are succeeding? Deaconess Bimbo.
Thank you very much, Pastor. You know, ideas are actually nothing without execution.
Yes.
I heard a great man once said that if you don't execute an idea, it is more or less hallucination.
Wow.
So it's better the idea did not even come at all.
Yes.
So execution is actually very important because in an organization, if you have set out to do something and you end up not doing it, there's no way your figures will go up. There's no way the members of your organization would actually be able to bring anything to bear or to fore. And in execution, your people are actually very, very important. You rightly said the other time that the leader of the business, that's the owner of the business or the organization, is actually a vital ingredient in execution. So for example, if the leader himself is not actually sure of where he is going, Stephen Covey said in one of his books, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that you have to begin with the end in mind. And so you have to have the right person who can also coach the members of his staff, the right people, and he can also arouse the same intention and the same interest in what they seek to achieve. Because without the people, the people, without the people, there is
Yes.
no way you will be able to achieve what you have set out to achieve. So the people are very important. Having the right leader, having the right people in the right job functions,
Wow.
that is going to ensure that you are able to achieve what you seek to achieve. And that is where execution comes to play.
Wow, that is very, very beautiful. There's this other you mentioned it now, having the right leader, having the right people in the right job functions. But usually, why do you find in certain organizations and they act as though they do not understand why they are not executing their plans and their strategies? Why do they have these issues with staffing? In other words, having the wrong people in the wrong jobs, or should I say, having the wrong people in the right jobs? Because these are jobs that are necessary, but you have the wrong people in these places. Why is it so for many organizations?
Okay, thank you, Pastor, for that question. You know, like Dickness rightly said, in every organization, for proper execution, people process is very critical. And the people process not only involves maybe the staff, as it were, it's also the leaders, you know, of the organization, because people take on the character of their leaders.
Yeah.
You know, organizations take on the character of their leaders.
Yes.
Now, you discover over time, and from my experience in my place of work, where I worked in the industry, you discover that what leads to many organizations not achieving, you know, their full potentials or objective they have set up for themselves is, you know, in the terms of recruitment. You know, recruitment intelligence has always been a problem, because when you put the wrong people for the right job, it's called misplaced priorities. You will not achieve the desired result. And people bring in sentiment. You will see somebody, I want to employ, I'm a leader, and have opportunity to bring in people for this vacant position in my place of work. Instead of following recruiting based on skills, they require skills. They bring in, is from my brother, it's from my lineage, it's my relation, it's my meeting member or whatever. You know, at the end of the day, you discover that the person will not function effectively. There's a saying that when purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable.
That's true.
Even Jesus in the scripture let us know, and that's why I said he took time to select his disciples.
That's very true.
Because he knew the purpose of what he wants to achieve.
Yes.
And bringing in the wrong people for the purpose, he did not achieve it. That was why he took time to get his disciples that work with him. And if you look at the scripture, all through his work on earth, he was able to achieve his purpose because he had the right people to work with. People that have the same mindset with him. People that understand what the vision is all about, what the goals are. So if you are bringing in the wrong people for the right job, at the end of the day, one, you're going to have a problem of them understanding the vision, and you have a problem of execution. Because execution practically is a discipline to getting things done right.
Yes.
At the right time.
Yes.
So when you have the wrong people who have not been trained, who don't have the right skill, the right mindset, you will have a problem achieving for you to execute their plans and strategies you have in place. So in a clear terms, recruiting the right people for the right job, devoid of sentiment, devoid of any parochial interest or whatever, is very, very important. Because if you see it in organizations, some leaders tend to bring in people or elevate people based on the fact that this person is loyal to me.
Yes.
And when you bring all those
In as much as loyalty is good.
Yes. In as much as loyalty is good.
Good, yes.
But loyalty in the form of you are meeting my personal interest.
That's the truth. That is it.
You see, yes, meeting your personal interest, is it the interest of the organization? Does this person actually meet the right skill? Does it have the right skill for that position that you want to elevate the person to?
That's true.
So maybe you are listening to me here. It's important as a leader in your organization for you to recruit or place people rightly and properly at the places or job functions that they are fit and have the requisite skill. It will help you and also help them to execute your plans and strategies towards achieving your goal.
Yes. And you just heard what they both said, it doesn't necessarily matter the size of your organization. For large businesses, for small businesses, execution is execution. I know when we defined execution, we said it is linking the three core processes of any business. And these three core processes are the people process, the strategy process, and the budgeting plan. Yes, or the operation plan. Why is this so very important, especially the budgeting plan? Why is this so key to being able to achieve execution?
Pastor, even in the scriptures, Jesus Christ said, you cannot say you want to build a house and then you do not count the cost. And maybe you're going to war, like we're saying backstage now, and then you're going against 20,000 people. And it's in the middle of the fight that you find out you have just 5,000 people in the army.
We'll come right back to this. I hope you listening attentively, because this is a very crucial part of business success. We're talking about value creation, and now we're talking about execution. We'll be right back to continue with where Dickiness stopped.
When it comes to the things of God, you do not need assumptions, you need truth. And that's why every week on Wodification, my friends and I, we come together to listen to a message from our man of God, Pastor Chris Oyekilome, because it's that truth that gives us clarity.
Welcome. We're still talking execution, and Dickiness was making a very strong point regarding the importance of the budgeting plan or the operations plan as being one of the core processes that must be linked effectively if an organization must execute, and not just execute, but getting things done on time. So you were saying something, Dickiness, about the need for proper budgeting and
Yes,
plan.
sir. I was talking about proper budgeting. And I think also in execution of strategy, you need to look at your organizational capacity before you're going to talk about a strategy, because whatever industry that you are in, you need to be able to benchmark yourself against the various players. Okay, if I'm going to use this kind of strategy, am I going to be able to finance it to the end? Or maybe I should start with this kind of strategy that I will be able to bankroll at the end of the day. And I think most times in organizations, a lot of them just jump into the sea or into the boat like that, and they find out midway that they cannot actually go ahead or achieve that which they have set to achieve. And this has happened a lot of times. Eventually, they are not able to execute properly, or even in some cases, if they eventually execute, they are not able to execute at the right time.
Yes.
And most of the time in your strategy processes, there are also timelines which you would have communicated maybe to the stakeholders, to the shareholders and all that. And at the end of the day, because you're not able to deliver within that timeline, even if you're able to deliver, you'll find out that the other players in the market would have gone ahead of you. So it is very, very important that you budget and know your organizational capacity, so that whatever strategy you are out to execute, you know that it is the one tailor-made for you.
So that means you, as an organization, or whether you're running a big business or a small business, you cannot just copy someone else's strategy.
Yes, sir.
You have to have some things on ground.
Yes, sir.
Deacon, that is.
Yes.
So can you say something?
It's very correct, very true what Dickiness just said. Because if you are running another man's race, you will eventually get another man's result, different from what you have planned for yourself.
Yes.
So it's important for you to have a budget plan, build on your own capacity, and grow. And Pastor, I'd like to say this very importantly. You know, as leaders, like I said earlier on, strategies has to involve, execution has to involve people. People are the major drivers of execution.
Yes.
And like I said, it has to do with those you are working with and also the leader. Now, for leaders, you know, that would drive the execution, you need to, first of all, have a strategy which I've already adopted. And we're talking about budgeting. In the process or along the line, you need to evaluate your strategy. This strategy we have adopted, are we achieving the desired result? Are we, at the end, are we going to achieve it? Because midway, and you discover that this strategy we adopted initially is like an utopian strategy. It is not a realistic strategy. So we have to evaluate along the line. Because you may budget, you may make a plan, strategy plan, along the line, the parameters or the indices upon which you did the strategy changes. So you need to also align yourself to the realities on ground of the times.
Yes.
And particularly, it's important you keep reading to meetings. Because when you have regular meetings with your staff or people you are working
All
with,
stakeholders.
or the stakeholders, you know, it gives you opportunity to review, to appraise.
Viewers, did you pick that? You must embark on regular meetings with all stakeholders to continually reevaluate and reappraise what's going on. Yes.
Exactly. Because within the meetings you have, timelines would have been given to different people to achieve particular decision lines and decision actions to take. If you don't have that regular meetings, at the end of the day, you may not know how far you are going. So I want to take an example from the scriptures. You know, when three nations came against Jehoshaphat and the children of Judah, the Bible recorded that Jehoshaphat called for a fast.
Yes.
And when they prayed, the Spirit of God gave a strategy.
Yes.
And when the strategy the Spirit of God gave, it was timeline.
Yes.
And he told the Spirit of God what to do.
Yes.
If Jehoshaphat did not execute that strategy, they wouldn't have defeated
The Moabites and the children of Ammon.
So
yes.
it's important for regular meetings so that you can now evaluate and see these are the things we say we will do.
Yes.
Are they done? What was the challenge? Where were they not done? You review and appraise, and you make progress. So it's important you evaluate and have regular meetings to review and evaluate timelines of projects.
Now, talking about timelines, because we're talking about not just getting things done, because you made mention of something that you might get it done, but not at the time you should have gotten it done. Do you understand? And so right now, you've gotten it done anyhow, but you already set back.
Yeah,
The market has moved ahead of you. So it's important that you get it done and at the right time. Because you also recall when God told the children of Israel, it was time to go spy out the promised land. It's time to take action. God wanted them to take action now. Go spy the land, then take action. You remember when they came back after 40 days, they said, yes, we've spied out the land, but we cannot take action. We are not capable. But two others said, the time is now. But they refused. And later on, those that said, we are not able now said, okay, let's go. But they had already missed the time. And so when they went ahead, they were pursued by the enemies. So that means in execution, timing is very, very key. Yes.
Faith is now.
Faith is now. Viewers, are you hearing us? Your timing, execution is all about getting it done at the right time. And this is what our man of God, Reverend Chris, and that's what I always say is the greatest coach on the planet right now. The greatest coach, the greatest mentor, the greatest motivator. He always tells us our time is now. We have to do it now. You understand? And he always emphasizes on the timing, which is very, very key. We've been talking about the place of the leader, the place of the staff within the system. I would just like us to highlight some key essentials of a leader who must be successful in execution. What do you think some of these qualities a leader who must be successful in execution must have?
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
For a good leader, to be able to execute some of his strategies, he should be a good communicator.
Wow.
He has to be able to communicate the vision or the strategies, not just to communicate, but there has to be a reciprocal buy-in.
Yes.
Because if you're talking to people, but you don't have a feedback, you don't have a buy-in, then at the end of the day, you are still on your own.
Yes.
There's no way you will be able to get things done. And he also, like he rightly said, you also have to recruit the right people. And aside that, you need to be able to communicate well. Then you need to be able to set goals and also measure them at intervals,
Yes.
different timelines. He talked about having regular meetings, but in the times in which we are, when you talk about even capital, human capital too sometimes come to play because of right sizing in organizations. Sometimes when the strategies are communicated, the amount of workforce that you have at that point in time also matters. So for a good leader, he should be able to be realistic and know what is on ground. Will I be able to achieve this with the number of people that I have on ground? So this is also very important if he's going to be able to execute effectively.
That means the leader in execution must have some of these basic qualities. A good communicator, he must be realistic, he must know how to set clear goals and priorities.
Yes,
Deacon, do you have some other
Yes,
attributes?
in addition to what Dickness apparently said as the qualities of a leader in the area of execution, because people process is very key.
Yes.
Having the right people for the right job, I've said, is very key. Cannot overrule the fact of that. Then also, when you have had the right people at the right job positions, you need to reward them.
Wow.
You need to reward them.
That is those that achieve.
Those that achieve, they
Yes.
need to be rewarded.
Yes.
We have an account in the Bible talking about the kingdom of God, about the talents. The Bible says when the chief came back, the person he gave five talents, and he came back and returned 5 talents, he said he had to double it again for him. He said, gave him a reward for having done well.
Yes.
So reward is very important to motivate people towards action. Then 2, as a leader, I need to do and follow up. Follow up is very important. I need to ensure follow up. Follow through to
Yes.
ensure that the processes are actually achieved. Then
So you cannot just go sit
you
somewhere.
cannot just bring out a strategy and say we want to do this and just go and sleep and just no. You need to follow up. You need to monitor. You need to coach. You need to follow them up to ensure that the processes or the goals are achieved. Then beside that, as a leader too, you need to also believe in yourself.
Wow.
Because if you don't believe in yourself, somebody can be communicating a strategy, but from the person's facial appearance
Yes.
or body language,
Yes.
you will know that you're just saying it for saying sake. You need
Wow.
to believe in the vision. You need to believe in the strategy. Because when you believe in it, the passion for it will drive you, will make you to ensure that maybe your workers or staff, follow suit. So it's very important you have all of these qualities.
Wow. You've heard it from our guest on the show. Execution is the linking of the 3 core processes of any business to get things done, not just getting things done, but on time. And these are the processes: the people process, the strategy process, the operating plan, or the budgeting plan. Linking all these 3 effectively will enable you achieve your plans, your goals, your objectives, time and time and time again. Thank you very much, Deaconess Bimbo. Thank you, Deacon Godson,
Pastor.
for sharing these insights on this show. Viewers out there, I believe you've heard the things they've shared with us and the things we have all looked into. And I believe also with the things you've heard, you are fast becoming someone who can execute effectively. Whether you're running a small business now or you're the manager of a big business, you've got to understand some basic things about execution. And so, looking forward to hear your best results, looking forward to hear your testimonies. Keep watching High Performance by the Word. It's the best program to watch at this time to help you generate maximum value for high performance. See you again. God bless you. This is the Performance Corner. Remember, this is the place where we pick a word or a phrase for you to take home, something to take home, something to keep remembering, something to keep working with. Today we are looking at the word execution. Simple words used every day, but many do not understand the importance of this word in business today. Execution or effective execution is linking the three core processes of any business to getting things done and on time. I'll take it again. Execution is the linking of the three core processes of any business to getting things done and on time. It's not just enough to get things done, but it's important to get things done on time, because any missed time can set the business back. What are these three core processes? They are the people process, the strategy process, the operating plan, or the budgeting plan. The people process, the strategy process, the operating plan, and the budgeting plan. And it's the job of every business leader. It cannot be delegated. It's the job of every business leader and his leadership team to walk this through and through. They are the drivers of it. They are the owners of it to enable the organization achieve its plans and objectives. Execution, linking the three core processes of any business: the people process, the strategy process, the operating plan, to getting things done and on time. See you next time.